some of the trauma the families go through, that you're there, you saw the whole thing, and it's just hard.
You trained in Canada, went to medical school in Belize, did a family medicine residency in Pennsylvania, ran urgent care clinics in Minnesota, and now you're an ED physician in Connecticut building AI. Can you connect all that up? Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. You can go back. I was in U.S. when the revolution happened in Iran, when they ousted the king, and my dad thought we should just pack up and go back to Iran so he can help rebuild Iran. So we got stuck in the Iran-Iraq War in 1980. It was actually, I was in the first city the war started. We had 8 hours to leave. We had three families in one car, basically dashing out of the city. We went city to city. I've been through Scud missiles, bombings, you name it. I've been there. And then my dad got a sabbatical to teach in Australia. Went to Australia for a year, then from Australia to Canada, and then ended up in med school in Belize. Um, but in terms of getting into ER, as a Canadian, I had to come here on what's called a J1 visa, which means you have to dedicate 2 years of medical service to a physician needed area. And then I went to this place in Minnesota called Olivia, which is a little dot on the map. You have to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and you see a little Olivia. Uh, I was like the little house on the prairie doc. The only doc in like a 25-mile radius. I was the head of ER. I did traditional family practice where I delivered babies. I admitted people from the emergency room to myself in the hospital, discharged to myself in the clinic. And then from 3 years of that, I found another job in northern Minnesota where they would take me as an emergency room doctor. So I switched into ER and stayed there. And it's been hard as a family doctor working in the ER because most ERs don't take family doctors. You have to be emergency room trained. And in
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
they took me in initially this hospital as a family doctor covering their fast track. But then every time they would have a hole in the ER side, they would beg me to come pick up a shift over there. And finally, like, Mo, you're just as good as our ER doctors. Would you mind just working full time in the ER? So then I just switched over and just never looked back.
So I find a lot of ER doctors that I've known through the years, um, they love that. You have to have a certain mentality to love it, but that you help someone, you see a result. Some, before the end of your shift, you're seeing something happen with, which is certainly rewarding, and then you leave and you don't have this patient load that you have to worry about. Can you kind of comment on that? Because I think people would find that interesting.
Yeah, it's almost like working at a Burger King or McDonald's. You put on your gown, you go to your shift, take it off, go home. The difference is in most other clinical jobs or physicians, when you have a critical patient and you send them out for a test and study, your heart is pounding, waiting for that result to come. And then when it comes, you have to reach out to so many different places to solve this person's problem. So you carry a lot of anxiety and stress with you over days over just that one patient. In the ER, you do have even more stress and anxiety, but it's just in that moment. When you leave, you trust your partner to take care of that sick patient, and you live, and you've done everything you can for that patient, and you leave. And then what you mentioned about uh, the sudden rewards, you find something critical, you save someone's life. All those are rewards that you just you can't get anywhere else. And at the same time, you see some stuff you cannot ever unsee. And there's some sadness I think you carry with you forever. Um, some of the trauma the families go through, that you're there, you saw the whole thing, and it's just hard. I don't know how to. You can't, you get emotional just thinking about it. I can't even say it.